In a small, forgotten village nestled between towering mountains, stood an abandoned mansion veiled with an air of secrecy and dread. The villagers spoke in hushed tones about the place, whispering tales of ghostly apparitions and strange occurrences. No one dared to venture near it, except for Elisa, a young woman with a penchant for mysteries and an eye for the uncanny. Elisa had always been fascinated by the supernatural, drawn to the stories her grandmother used to tell her about the mansion's former glory. One crisp autumn morning, armed with nothing but a flashlight and her notebook, she decided to unravel the secrets that lay cloaked in the shadows of the dilapidated structure. As she approached the gate, which creaked ominously in the breeze, a flight of crows erupted from the mansion's turrets. Their cries pierced the morning stillness. Elisa hesitated momentarily, a shiver coursing down her spine, but the thrill of the unknown beckoned her forward. Inside, the mansion was a labyrinth of dust-covered rooms and echoing hallways. The air was thick with the smell of decay and forgotten memories. Elisa's footsteps reverberated against the cold stone floors as she navigated the passages, noting each detail with fastidious care. The unsettling quietness was broken only by the intermittent groans of the ancient structure. Her exploration led her to the grand ballroom, where moonlight trickled through fractured stained glass windows, casting kaleidoscopic patterns upon the floor. But what caught her eye was not the ethereal dance of colors, but the portrait that hung with an almost defiant prominence over the grand fireplace. The portrait was of a beautiful woman, dressed in regal attire, her eyes appearing to follow Elisa as she moved across the room. There was something unsettling about those eyes, a knowing glint, as if they were alive and holding a secret too heavy to bear. Driven by a compulsion she couldn't explain, Elisa moved closer, her fingers tracing the gilded frame. Her heartbeat thundered in her ears as she sensed a faint rustling behind her. She spun around, flashlight beam frantically scanning the darkness, but there was nothing there. Just silence and shadows. Returning her focus to the portrait, she noticed something peculiar. The more she gazed, the clearer it became. The woman's lips seemed to twitch into an elusive smile. It was an effect that surely couldn't be natural for an artwork. She reached out to touch the canvas, and as her fingertips grazed its surface, a sharp click resonated through the room. Suddenly, a section of the wall swung inward, revealing a hidden passage. Elisa's breath hitched in her throat. The air that wafted out was frigid, tinged with an earthy smell of forgotten time. Without thinking, she stepped into the passageway. The walls were lined with old, tattered books and faded photographs depicting the mansion in its heyday. The passage led her down a narrow staircase into what seemed like an underground study. In the center was a large desk, its surface littered with diary pages and yellowed letters. Desperate to know more, Elisa began to read. They told the tale of a woman trapped in a cursed painting, a soul bound to the canvas, until someone could break the enchantment by understanding the stories of her life. Elisa realized with a start. She knew how to do this, to piece together the woman's history from the scattered clues. Hours melted away as she delved deeper into the sorrows and joys of a life once vivid, now dimmed by time and magic. As dawn broke, the last letter slipped through Elisa's fingers. She returned to the grand ballroom, standing once more before the portrait. The eyes weren't following her this time. The face was serene, free. A soft breeze whispered through the cracked windows, and for a moment she swore she heard a gentle thank you on the wind. Elisa left the mansion behind, a gentle smile playing upon her lips.